To get his reaction on President Duterte's statements, we now talk to Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon. Good morning, Senator. Thank you for taking our call.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning. Yes.
Yes, you have said, Senator, that the Senate should summon PSG Commander Jesus Duterte when it investigates the country's COVID-19 plan. But the President last night said he is ordering Duterte and the PSG to ignore the summons. Your reaction, Senator?
Well, the President is invoking executive privilege, which is a recognized power of the President under our separation of powers. This is not the first time that this is being invoked. President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo in 2005 issued Executive Order number 464, which also required grievances from the President insofar as certain areas involving national security and public order is concerned. That is a matter which the President can require that officials of the Executive Department should get the clearance of the President before appearing before the Congress. This is a recognized privilege. We repeat, this is called executive privilege. This is the recognized power of the President under our separation of powers. So it is not unusual. It is not that the President invokes this if he feels that the PSG commander should not appear before the Senate. However, we can still elicit that information from other officials of government, not PSG.
Mm-hmm. So, well, if he invokes executive privilege, you won't summon anymore the PSG commander?
In the first place, it's not for me to summon. That's addressed to the Senate
Yes,
President.
the Senate.
But the matter of, the President already said he will not allow. Mm-hmm. So you summon or you issue an invitation, the President will just invoke his executive privilege. So it's a theoretical exercise.
Senator, the President had very strong words last night. He said there will be a little crisis if the PSG is forced to testify and be detained. Your reaction, please.
Well, precisely. That will result from a non-recognition by the Senate of the executive privilege power of the President. If the Senate insists on issuing a subpoena to the PSG head, and the President invokes the executive privilege, as I said, as early as 2005, this was already the Executive Order 464 was issued, and under jurisprudence, the President has the power to not allow officials in the Executive Department to appear before Congress on certain specific grounds. Hindi naman sa lahat, ano? For example, what is covered by executive privilege is defined in EO 464, particularly, for example, conversations and correspondence between the President and the public officials. Information matters concerning national security and public order, as decided in the case of Chavez versus Public Estates Authority. This is covered by executive privilege, and therefore the President can correctly invoke the EO 464 in order to prevent Morante from testifying. But as I will repeat, there is nothing that would prevent the Senate from eliciting information from other sources.
Yes, yes. So, since there is still a lot of questions that remain unanswered, first of all, like you said, who imported the vaccines and how did the unregistered vaccines enter the country? Now, who might the Senate summon to get answers to these questions?
I do not know at this point, but certainly we have certain people in mind, but I will keep it to my. I'm not free to divulge it at this point.
All right, Senator, finally, the Senate investigation is meant to aid legislation. What in particular are you looking for in the vaccination program or in the PSG inoculation that will be in aid of legislation?
In aid of legislation, meaning what loopholes are there? What do we have to strengthen? The powers of the Food and Drug Administration, for example, can be re-examined and see what are the deficiencies in the present law granting that power to the FDA, the power and strengthen the Food and Drug Administration. That can be a matter of legislation that can be looked into and from whom information can be getted from our resource persons.
Right, right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Senator Drilon.